It starts almost like a fairy tale, right? A young hero, a really loving family, a life of just simple peace. But then, that peace is just completely shattered, and from those ashes rises one of the biggest anime phenomena in history. So what's the secret sauce here? I'll tell you. It's not just the incredible battles. It's the powerful beating heart at its core. So let's dig in and figure out what makes Demon Slayer hit so hard.
See, the story doesn't throw you into darkness right away. It starts with so much warmth. We get to meet the Kamado family, and they're just tucked away in the mountains, living this life of simple, humble joy. And Tanjiro, he's the eldest son, he's their rock. He supports everyone by selling charcoal. It's a foundation of pure, uncomplicated love. And that's so important.
And this, right here, is where the story really grabs you. 'Cause Tanjiro isn't your typical troubled outcast. He's the complete opposite. A genuinely good person, a hardworking kid who is so loved and supported by his family. And this foundation of happiness, it's totally deliberate. It's crafted to make the tragedy that's coming feel not just sad, but absolutely, utterly shattering.
So, after a night away, Tanjiro heads home, but something is just terribly wrong. There are no greetings, there's just this chilling silence, and then he smells it, the scent of blood. The walls are shattered, his home is a scene of just unimaginable horror, his entire family slaughtered. In one single instant, that beautiful world we were just introduced to is burned to the ground.
All right, so this brutal tragedy, it sets the stage for the series' central paradox. Apparently, the creator's editors knew that a story this full of suffering needed a gentle center to even be bearable. And that is exactly what Tanjiro is, a kind heart trying to make his way through an unbelievably cruel world.
And this is such a key departure from the typical hero's journey. I mean, think about it. So many protagonists are orphans or outcasts right from the jump. We're used to that trope. But Demon Slayer does something different. It makes us invest in Tanjiro's happiness first. We see his loving family. We see the joy. So when it's all torn away, his loss becomes our loss. We don't just hear about what he lost, we actually feel it.
So Tanjiro's journey isn't just about getting stronger, lifting heavier weights or swinging a sword faster. As he faces these unimaginable horrors, he develops this profound mental fortitude. He starts to realize that a lot of the demons he fights were once victims themselves, twisted by cruelty and despair. In a world that's just screaming for vengeance, he somehow finds it in his heart to pity them, to offer a final moment of compassion before they fade away. It's incredible.
And all of that kindness, it finds its ultimate purpose in one person. Because look, if Tanjiro's gentle heart is the soul of this story, then his bond with his sister, that's the powerful engine driving the whole thing forward.
In the middle of all that wreckage, Tanjiro finds something. A pulse. His younger sister Nezuko. She's alive, but she's been transformed into a demon. And that devastating discovery gives him a new purpose. It's this singular, all-consuming goal. Avenge his family, yes, but more than anything, find a way to turn Nezuko human again.
But here's the thing about Nezuko. She's different. A little piece of her humanity is still in there, fighting. So instead of consuming human flesh, she actually recovers her strength by sleeping. And get this, through some deep-seated subconscious command, she sees all humans as her family and feels this overwhelming need to protect them. This whole paradox, a demon who defends humanity, that becomes the absolute core of their journey.
Of course, Nezuko's power is a total double-edged sword. As she evolves, she can tap into this berserk state, her awakened form, where she basically leaves her humanity behind. And we see this terrifying side of her in the fight against the demon Daki. Oh man, she becomes way more powerful, incredibly aggressive, and even starts torturing her opponent with this wicked grin. It's a chilling reminder of the monster she could become if she's not careful.
But at the end of the day, their relationship is everything. I mean, these are siblings bound together by love and this incredible willingness to sacrifice anything for each other. It's their unbreakable bond, that unconditional love that gives them the power to just keep fighting no matter what. Tanjiro is Nezuko's reason for pushing forward, and you better believe Nezuko is Tanjiro's.
Okay, so of course, this powerful emotional core is set against a backdrop of some of the most breathtaking action you'll ever see. Let's be real, Demon Slayer is famous for its jaw-dropping fight scenes. But here's the crucial part. These battles are never just for show. They're epic clashes defined by massive emotional stakes and a heavy, heavy weight of sacrifice.
And to face the strongest demons, well, you're gonna need the strongest warriors. So, enter the Hashira. Think of them as the 9 elite swordmasters at the very top of the Demon Slayer Corps. These are the best of the best, the fighters who go toe-to-toe with the absolute worst that humanity has to face. I think it's safe to say, no Hashira left a bigger mark on fans than Kyojuro Rengoku. This is the guy at the center of the Mugen Train arc. He's loud, enthusiastic, a little eccentric, and just immensely powerful. With this incredibly pure heart and absolutely extraordinary swordsmanship, he just walks on screen and immediately steals the entire show. So, after this absolutely grueling battle on the train, just when you think it's over, Rengoku faces a brand new threat, the upper-rank demon Akaza. And Akaza sees Rengoku's sheer strength and basically makes him an offer: become a demon. You'll get immortality, you'll get even greater power. And this sets up a clash that isn't just about swords, it's about ideals. Is it better to cling to your humanity or gain overwhelming strength at any cost?
And Rengoku's answer is a hard no. He refuses. He chooses his humanity every single time. And in this final, desperate act, he unleashes his ultimate technique, a literal inferno of pure flame and spirit. It is a blaze of glory, an absolute visual masterpiece, where he puts every last ounce of his being on the line to shield the young slayers cowering behind him.
Rengoku, he suffers fatal wounds. He doesn't survive the battle. But let's be absolutely clear, his death is not a defeat. He successfully protects every single passenger on that train and all of his comrades. He fulfilled his duty to the absolute very end, and his sacrifice is this profound, heartbreaking victory that has a massive emotional impact, not just on the characters, but on every single person watching.
And this idea of sacrifice, it leads us to what might be the story's most compelling and mature theme. Because, a lot of stories draw a really hard line between good and evil. But Demon Slayer? It finds the tragedy, the suffering, and the human fragility even inside its own monsters. The series is constantly forcing us, the viewers, to ask this one question. It just blurs that line between who's the executioner and who's the victim, and it makes you question the very nature of evil. Are these demons just monsters that need to be slain? Or are they tragic beings who maybe, just maybe, deserve our pity?
Because time and time again, the story shows us that pretty much every demon was once human. They were someone's sister, or brother, or child, before their entire identity was stolen from them. They weren't born evil. No, they're tragic victims of circumstances, twisted into these monsters by the cruelty and manipulations of the Demon King, Muzan.
I mean, just think about the hand demon from way back in the beginning of the series. As a human boy, all he ever wanted was to hold his older brother's hand. That's it. But as a demon, he was forced to kill him. And then, in his final moments, as he's literally disintegrating, Tanjiro reaches out and holds his hand. This simple human wish finally granted at the very end. It's moments like this that make every victory in the show feel so bittersweet and so emotionally complex.
So when you put all these pieces together, a really clear picture starts to emerge. And we can finally understand why this story just resonated so deeply with millions of people all over the world.
Basically, you can think of Demon Slayer as being built on 4 powerful pillars. First, you've got a foundational tragedy that hits way harder because it starts with so much happiness. Second, it's all centered on an unbreakable family bond that acts as the story's emotional core. Third, it delivers that spectacular action, but it's where sacrifice, not just winning, is what defines a hero. And finally, it shows this really rare empathy for its villains, making us actually feel for the monsters we think we're supposed to hate.
In the end, Demon Slayer is a story that is just steeped in tragedy. It shows us a world where absolutely no one is left untouched by darkness. But it reminds us that what we choose to do in that darkness is what truly defines us. It asks us to consider that maybe, just maybe, our greatest strength isn't raw power, but compassion. So I gotta ask you, what part of this story resonated the most with you? Let us know.